Just when I thought I had already seen the best from NuPhy with their outstanding F-series low-profile keyboards, here they are releasing arguably their best mechanical keyboard thus far, targeting enthusiasts with an affordable custom keyboard with tons of possible configurations. I'm talking about the NuPhy Gem80. This is truly a gem when it comes to mechanical keyboard market space, as it offers a pretty standard 10 keyless form factor, south-facing hot swappable switches, tri-mode connectivity with 1000Hz polling rate for gaming, QMK and VIO support, multiple gasket mounting options, all the modern sound dampening material with a bonus elastomer film for an overall good sounding and performing mechanical keyboard. I'm excited to share with you everything it has to offer, so let's get into it. Honest disclaimer, this video is not paid, but NuPhy did send the NuPhy Gem80 for me to review. They will not see this video before release. And as always, rest assured that you're going to get my honest thoughts. However, I have to say, it's mostly positive, as I really like what NuPhy has done here. So they sent the Cosmic Mocha variant of the Gem80, a set of NuPhy Lemon switches, the Cosmic Mocha Gem MSA keycap set, and basically all the available plate options. From the packaging down to the package contents, NuPhy has outdone themselves by offering a premium experience with the Gem80. Inside the box, we have an envelope with all the necessary paperwork. After that, we have yet another foam cover, the NuPhy Gem80 itself nicely protected by a soft microfiber cloth, two accessory boxes, one for the cable and one for the tools and other components. So we have the 2.4 GHz USB dongle, a wire switch and keycap puller, a nice screwdriver, a few foot pads, and all the different silicone gaskets. More on that later. On the other box, we have the cold cable for charging and wired mode. Again, what I have here is the bare bones kit of the Cosmic Mocha variant. It looks pretty clean with chamfered edges, curved corners, and minimal branding. It is also solidly built, feels premium, and weighs roughly around 1.1 kilograms. Again, we have a standard 10 keyless form factor with a subtle gem badge here. This is magnetic and detachable. Aside from that, we have the familiar LED indicator on the top left corner, a couple of silicone dampeners underneath the spacebar, and some sample switches. Out of the box, it has an FR4 plate, but later on, I'm going to share with you some sound tests using all the available plate options. Flipping it on the side, you'll notice a different material for the bottom case. The top case is made of CNC machined 6063 aluminum, while the bottom case is made out of thick polycarbonate plastic for better wireless reception. Turning it all over at the bottom, we have 4 rubber feet, a polycarbonate case that perfectly matches the theme, and some visible screws all around. Nicely hidden here are a couple of switches, one for power and connectivity modes, and one for switching between Windows and Mac OS. Oh, I almost forgot. At the back side, we also have the USB port right at the center. Now, before we tear this keyboard apart and rebuild it, here are all the included components for the different configurations this keyboard has to offer. We have different silicone gaskets with different levels of hardness. You can choose between silicone socket, silicone bean, silicone strip, and screw plus silicone for the additional top mount option. In addition, you can also choose between POM, polycarbonate, aluminum, and FR4 plates. The latter is pre-installed on the Gem80, while the others are sold separately. As you can tell, the customization is essentially endless with this keyboard. Alright, so with the unboxing and parts overview out of the way, let's tear this keyboard apart. All you have to do is remove all the screws at the bottom using the included screwdriver or your own depending on your preference. After that, you can now lift the top case like so. Then you'll have access to the plate and other components. But before we take a closer look at the components, let's remove the cables first using an angled tweezer like so. Alright, like I said, by default, we have the FR4 plate. It has a good amount of flex cuts, pre-installed plate mount stabilizers, and silicone socket dampeners. Next, we have a pour and foam dampener, an IXPE foam, a unique elastomer film, and the PCB also with flex cuts and south-facing hot swappable sockets from Gateron. On the bottom case, we have 2 more pour and foams for a total of 3 for this keyboard, and a dense silicone dampener that also protects the 4000 mAh battery. And lastly, we have the daughter boards for the USB port and switches. Now, as I pointed out earlier, we have a bunch of different mounting options here, and by default, we have the silicone socket. You can choose between top mount using the screw and silicone gaskets, standard gasket mount using the silicone strip, or 2 levels of hardness using the silicone bean. It's all up to you. For this video, we're going to stick with the default silicone sockets. Now, the NuPhy Lemon switches came in an equally satisfying package. What I have here is the 90 pieces variant. This one is tactile with an actuation force of around 50 grams give or take. The top housing is polycarbonate plastic and the bottom housing is PA66 nylon plastic with a 21mm double stage spring. The stem is made out of POM material and is pre-lubricated out of the factory. It is fairly smooth and has a relatively deep sound signature, especially when partnered with the Gem80 MSA double shot PVD keycaps. Speaking of the keycaps, the Gem MSA Cosmic Mocha keycap set also came in nice packaging. Here we have a total of 137 keycaps, and is compatible with the Field 75, Halo series, and of course the Gem80 and other standard profile keyboards. By the way, the plate mount stabilizers are substantially lubed, and based on my testing and sound test, they sound and feel nice out of the box. Alright, so I've already installed the switches and keycaps, and I noticed that the Gem80 MSA spacebar features the amazing NuPhy Ghost bar, which is nice. Like I mentioned in my old videos, the NuPhy Ghost bar is the best stock spacebar that I've tried on any pre-built keyboard. The fonts of the Gem MSA keycaps are also fairly clean, with rounded edges, and have no sub-legends other than the macOS shortcuts on the function rows. And there you have it. If you're a fan of the Noctua brown colorway, you're going to love this Cosmic Mocha theme, and as you can tell, it perfectly matches my desk setup with a wooden theme and leather desk mat. Now here's a proper sound test for you guys. I actually had to tear this keyboard apart multiple times to try different plates. In terms of performance, as expected, the NuPhy Gem80 performed well when it comes to wire stability. I didn't encounter any issues with it. By default, it supports up to 6K rollover, but as per specifications, it should support NKRO, but I cannot seem to find how to activate it. In terms of illumination, aside from the main alphanumeric keys and the side LED indicator, the Gem80 badge also has customizable RGB lining around it. Now, compared to older NuPhy keyboards that use the proprietary NuPhy console software, the NuPhy Gem80 uses QMK or VIA, which is easier and widely used and preferred by the people in the community. So customizing this keyboard both in terms of its hardware and software configuration is essentially sky's the limit. Overall, to conclude, the NuPhy Gem80 is no doubt the best mechanical keyboard the brand has to offer right now. The NuPhy S-Series low-profile keyboards are still probably my favorite, but this is no doubt on the next level when it comes to quality, features, and customizability. The amount of options this keyboard has is amazing for beginners getting their feet wet on the hobby, as they can try different configurations without having to buy multiple keyboards. This is perfect too for those people who simply want a good sounding and feeling keyboard out of the box with an experience closer to more expensive options out in the market. And there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Huge thanks to NuPhy for sending this in. Again, this video is not paid, and NuPhy will see this video at the same time as you do. If you want to support me and my channel, please use the links below. Now, if you prefer a retro theme mechanical keyboard, you can check out my review of the Lo-Fi block by clicking this. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you appreciate this video, and see you next time. Have a great day, Brawlies. You're always awesome.